recently you had quite a troubling experience, if I can say, in Israel. I'm wondering if you can speak to that and describe what happened.
Yes. So several months ago, I decided to do a Christian pilgrimage into Israel, into the West Bank and occupied Israel. I no longer recognize Israel as a sovereign state. And I flew into Jordan, and then I was going to cross directly from Jordan into the West Bank. And I didn't realize, I was told that the Israeli occupation has a very difficult immigration and customs process, but I don't think I realized exactly what I was walking into. Upon exiting Jordan and going to enter into the West Bank, there's about a mile of electric fences, individuals with AR weapons, at least 3 checkpoints that your vehicle has to go through. And so I make it finally to here, and I have my itinerary, my list of holy sites that I want to visit, and I present my passport, I present my itinerary, which has the hotels I'm gonna stay at, everywhere I'm gonna be. And he asked me, he says, so what are you doing here? And I present this. I said, well, basically, I'm coming on my Christian pilgrimage. And he looked up at me and he said, basically? And I said, yes. And for some reason, this word just threw him off. And so I get escorted to sit in an area and wait to be basically ask more questions. So during the next hour or two, I have 2 or 3 more people come ask me questions. What does it mean to be a Christian? What does it mean to visit the holy sites? And as someone who is born and raised a devout Catholic, currently practicing Catholic, of course these are easy questions for me to answer. And so I answer the questions, but I guess they are still not convinced. And so now they're going to detain me and interrogate me. So they take me to another area of this building, and meanwhile there are no Palestinians here. Palestinian police, Palestinian authority, everything is controlled and operated by the Israeli occupation. And this is me trying to enter into Palestine. So I'm trying to enter into Palestine from the Jordan border, but everyone that I'm coming into contact with is the Israeli occupation, the Israeli government. And so, and it's important to mention this because this is what an apartheid state is. So I go into this interrogation and she starts asking me questions about my job. Of course, I tell her I was in the military. I'm not working right now. And then she asked what I did in the military, and I told her I was an intelligence officer. And she starts asking me about my assignments. And the questions got so detailed, I finally looked at her and I said, with all due respect, you should understand that I cannot answer these questions. You are forcing me to commit espionage against my country. You can't ask me details about my assignments inside of the NSA, inside of DIA. You can't ask me these questions. And because we're supposed to be allies, why would you be asking me to commit espionage against my country? And she was upset by this. All of these things were just like frustrating her even more. And so she started asking me about my husband's job, and I said, I can't answer these questions. And she said, well, if you're not going to answer any more questions, then this interrogation is done. And I exited out of the interrogation room, and probably about an hour later of waiting in this one area where I was detained, they came and gave me a paper saying that I was not allowed to enter into Palestine. I was being banned for 5 years, and I was a public security threat. Just for having a pro-Palestinian stance, for having a stance against the genocide that they're committing. The Israeli government wants to know our stance on the war, so this is a part of their interrogation. They ask, how do you feel about the war? They even asked me what I thought the solution was, of which I told them maybe the Jews should move to Florida because the governor there really loves the Jews, so maybe you guys should go to Florida. And she said, oh, so you think we should leave? And I said, well, wouldn't it be safer for you? Don't you want to be safe? If you feel like you're unsafe here, then maybe you should leave.